Hi everyone, my name is Ariana Salvi, and for my last speech, I decided to talk about children and how important they are and how important it is to give them a lifestyle that they can prosper in and meet all of their necessities. So the two necessities that I'm going to be talking about in this speech is the right to maintain a healthy lifestyle and the right to a free education. So it's a common opinion that children are the best thing that can happen to a family if it's planned, of course. Families tend to want to give their children everything to make them prosper, to grow and become successful and do whatever they want to do to live their life. So growing up, my parents always encouraged my sister and I to be the best we could be and conquer the world with no boundaries. So, like many people see their future with children and want to give them the world, which is why children should have the right to their success, which includes a healthy lifestyle and free education. So I'd like to start by saying how children can obtain this. So according to the United Nations in 1959, the UN General Assembly adopted the Declaration of Rights to the Children, which defines children's rights to protection, education, healthcare, shelter, and good nutrition. So these aspects are all important to a child's health because it's what makes up their future. So if you aren't receiving the right nutrients, you won't have enough energy and your body can't fight off any infectious diseases, which brings me to my next point, that the Australian Government Health Department states, staying healthy in childcare is defined as preventing infectious diseases. So being able to obtain these shots and these flu viruses and whatnot, and these vaccines should be included for children to maintain this healthy lifestyle, which helps them fight off all these diseases. So another point that is also brought to this main point, that good health keeps us going, talks about the nutrition we eat and the foods that go into our body. When a child is born, you're supposed to, everyone knows that you start giving them milk, and then you need to maintain their diet of whatever it is. So for me, I can't eat gluten, so I wasn't able to have pastas, bread, whatever, and now I've cut that out of my diet, and now I'm great. So local council health departments can provide and help and advise regarding food safety in children's centers. So this means that all of the food required for these child are able to be given to these departments to ensure a child's healthy lifestyle. So obviously, now that health needs to play a role in children, I'll now explain how crucial education is. So, like all of us, we all attend the University of South Florida. Great school, go Bulls. So according to the United Nations, following more than a decade of focus on child health issues, the UNICEF expanded its interest to address the needs of the whole child. In this same article, I found that the UNICEF works in more than 190 countries and territories, focusing special efforts on reaching the most vulnerable and excluded children to benefit all children everywhere. Living in the United States, we are extremely fortunate on having a wealthy country and being able to get our education for free, whether or not you have a loan for school or you're taking out or you have Florida prepaid, but education for us is free. So my third source for this is, according to the United Nations, much has been accomplished since the adoption of the convention, from declining infant mortality to rising schools enrollment, but much remains to be done. So this means that there were a huge number of students being enrolled in schools. In poorer countries, however, there is multiple countries where students still need to be enrolled. And my last point brings to children overall and how much their development means to their future self. So I like to talk about the pursuit of happiness. According to Better Health, life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness is a well-known phrase from the United States Declaration of Independence. These three rights were called unalienable by the founders of the United States, which means they should not they are unable to be taken away. So despite where you're from, or whatever, in the United States, we have the right to free education, speech, whatever, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So all of these include nutrition, education, all what makes someone happy and successful, enjoying their life. According to the Imagination Conservative, as a matter of fact, from what I've seen, children of professional couples who stick them in schools and daycare for most of their life, they eventually learn not to want to make other people happy. Instead, they grow up to be halves of two-income couples who write spending time with their own kids somewhere and vacuuming on the list of pleasurable activities. So I decided to include this quote because it proves that people who are raised with such wealth, or such parents who are all about money and don't necessarily push them to go hang out with their friends, go hang out outside, they grow up to not necessarily wanting to work for themselves. They depend on other people, they depend on other types of jobs to get their money, which leads them to feel sorry for them. So in another quote by Psychology Today, the social solitary nature of problems is important. For example, serious health problems or academic difficulties are not strongly related to the sense of how happy one's childhood had been, whereas witnessing parents argue will definitely have an impact on how a child is raised. So all of these 3 points are crucial to a children's for them to prosper and grow into who they want to be. And yeah, I think that children should be a crucial part to everyone, and education and better health definitely plays a role. Thank you.